Hello and welcome to Pro Cycling Manager 25. I've been looking forward to this one. What I did before I actually started with this YouTube series is I tried to do San-Marino challenge, from the big rival of Pro Cycling Manager, Football Manager. I try to do it in cycling, and therefore this year I want to show you what I learned in the last version of the game and actually try to build a nation. I wanted to do San Marino again, but there's some problems with it. First of all, there's only 2 riders in the game, and I didn't want to fiddle around with doing some extra modding because I'm just not good enough at that. And also the sponsors, there's only 2 San Marino sponsors, and to be fair, one of them is not really from San Marino, so I chose Iceland instead. We will be making the team very soon. But first of all, I want to tell you why I also want to do it now and actually start streaming. I think it's a lot more fun to do it this year because we have now some extra improvements. We have the improvements of the graphics, which is pretty nice. I also got a brand new computer, so let's hope it can run that. And we also have the improvement of the promotion relegation system. If we do a rule where we can only sign Icelandic riders, the problem with ProRel in the last version was it was with the star rating and not with the actual points that you got through the season. So it was very hard to get up to professional level in the game if you only accounted for stars. So I had to use other country riders in the last year's version, but I think I now can focus on using only Iceland riders and actually go up in the ranks doing that. Okay, my rules. We will only use Iceland riders. If there's not enough to fill the team, we will use Norwegian low-level domestics. Why do we do this? Well, we need 10 riders at least to play the game, at least start the game, and there's currently only 9 riders available for Iceland. We will play on extreme difficulty just to make it a little bit fair and enjoy the journey. Okay, so let's start making and building our team. We will go for the career mode, customized game. I will use the World DB from the Steam Workshop. And on extreme difficulty, we're not gonna customize that. I'm not gonna log the settings yet because I actually didn't play any PCM 25 up until now, so let's see if everything works out as it should, so we might change that along the way. I intend to keep it as it is, but if something's too annoying, I will change it. Random potentials on, just because it's fun. And then variability of race day conditions is on as well. And everything else we just will keep it as it is. Okay, let's start with creating a custom team and immediately go to Iceland. Iceland, there we go. So we just add all of the Icelandic riders. As you can see, we only have 9 and we need 10 to immediately start. So as I said, I will add 1 Norwegian dude because if you didn't know, Iceland used to be part of the Norwegian kingdom in the Middle Ages. So Norway, there we go. Evaluation low, the lowest one, there we go. And then of course select the sponsor. We want of course an Icelandic sponsor. I already checked out which one I wanted to get. Maybe we need to go a little bit further. There we go. So we have a few different Icelandic sponsors. We have Isavia, which is Icelandic travel. We have Simin, I think that's an Icelandic telecom provider. Then Iceland Post, and we have the Icelandic Bank. The headcanon that I have is that Iceland does already have a lot of tourists coming. It's really helping booming their tourism. And so now they also want to make some extra money on that. So the tourism sector, at least the first year, will be sponsoring our team. That's kind of the headcanon. Name will be, well, maybe something with Vikings. There we go. Isavia, our shirt sponsor, and Vikingar means Vikings. I'm sorry, I'm not Icelandic. If I make some wrong translations, please correct me. I'm pretty sure I will, when I'm talking about these riders, I will be just wrong all the time. Please don't be discouraged by that. The idea is to make Iceland great in cycling, and I hope that's the focus, and we can have some fun with that. Okay, the setup is ready, so now we can jump into the game. Okay, so there we go, our start. So to set everything up the way we want it, first of all, I'm gonna go check with you the scouting system, and this is the important one. As you can see, we have here in the scouting region Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Iceland. I will focus, of course, to make Iceland the best team of the Nordic regions. Scandinavia is a little bit wrong here, because if I'm not wrong, actually Finland is not part of Scandinavia and Denmark is, but you know, let's not focus too much on that. So that's the thing. So you have two numbers here. Training structures goes from 1 to 10. Popularity also goes from 1 to 10. Popularity increase is relatively easy. It happens super quickly, but training structure takes time. It can only go up once a year, while popularity just depends on the current state of cycling directly. So let's say whenever someone wins a big race, the popularity will go up immediately. However, training structures can only go up at the end of every year. How that works, I will explain in a second. That's what I figured out last year. So first of all, popularity of cycling, that happens with races. If we go to the rules, that will work better. If we go to scale here, we have a better indication of this. So to increase the popularity of cycling, it's about winning stuff. If I'm not wrong, from the top of my head here, at a 1.1 race or 2.1 race, so the 0.1s, you will go up from 1 to 2 in popularity. If you go and win a .pro race, you will go up to popularity 3. A general race victory, I think, is popularity 4. And then 5 is a major a victory in a Grand Tour. So in the Vuelta or in the Giro will go up to 6. And then the biggest one, if you have a victory in the Tour de France, your popularity will go up to 7. So that also means that the maximum you can reach as a popularity in start of the game, a popularity of 7 or below, is up to 7. You cannot go higher than that. That's something we want to keep in mind. If we go back to the scouting system, then we can also see training structures, so I will explain that now. So Welcome everyone to my spreadsheet. This is what I did last year with San-Marino. Basically, every time I did a year with San-Marino, I recorded what the points were, as you can see over here, of the highest ranked rider of that country. Then also noted down what their rank was. I noted down the total score of all the countries and then their rank as well. In here, you have the base level of the training structure and to what they improved, if they did actually improve. And here, it was noted down how many times they got improved. I did this simulation multiple times. What do I mean with I did this simulation multiple times? I saved the game on the 31st of December, saved that file somewhere else as a backup. Then I simulated it to the 1st of January, and then you get the mail, okay, these countries improved in ranking. For the year 2027, I did that 10 times. And as you can see, New Zealand here, every single time they did go up. Which means that the chances, while maybe not 100% because I only simulated 10 times, but at least let's say 90% chance that New Zealand would go up, it actually happened. Now, the higher you go in base rank, the lower that chance is. For example, the team right above it, Team USA, on the 8th place, they went from 4 to 5, but only half of the time. Okay, and this is a general thing. But what I wanted to figure out with these spreadsheets, which I did for about 10 seasons, and then there was seasons where I did it multiple times. So the most I did it was 80 times. And then you can see here after that I did it 50 times each time. And the result was this, and this is the important one. So we can see here that for improving to rank 2 or 3, we need to be ranked in the top 200. Not necessarily the points. I couldn't find a correlation between that, but this is a base stat. But for the top 200, you could improve to rank 3. You had a role that could do that. For rank 4, you should have at least a rank of, I have 94, but probably a rank in the top 100 would be enough. So this is then like sort of a goal to aim for in points. For rank 5 and 6, you needed a rank 50, and for rank 7, a top 25. And then it gets weird. It gets weird because, in my opinion, this should be more special. For a top 8, you needed a top 10. But in my opinion, for a 9, you should have gone for top 5. And for a 10, you should have the first place. I must also say, the chances of these happening, these last ones to go up above 7, even if you're in first, are very, very, very low. So, what will we do in the Iceland save? I will set up my own rule system. I will do the kind of saves coming, so saving on the December 31st and do the simulation until Iceland gets an improvement, as long as I meet the requirements. However, since there's some of the requirements I do not agree on here, I will now note down the requirements that I want for this game that I'm playing. So, for an improvement to level 2, we just need to do the same. Rank 200. I'm happy with that. I will simulate until we get an improvement if we get rank 200. For rank 3, I will not be satisfied with 200 place. Logically, I will go in between these two, so we need to finish with rank 150. For rank 4, rank 100 will be enough. Rank 5, 50. And now rank 6, you would say the same, but I will just go with 25 for rank 7. Top 12. For rank 8, we just halve it again. Top 6, let's make it top 5. For rank 9, top 3. And for rank 10, we need first place in the final rankings with our top rider. And that's the goal for this series. We want Iceland to have a training structure of 10, and if we could do it, also, of course, win the biggest race of them all, the Tour de France, all the monuments, the Vuelta, the Giro, all the big ones. We want to have won them at least once. Additionally, I want to include Iceland in the Worlds and in the European Championships. How we're gonna do that is the next bit. So, the next bit, how are we gonna finally set up the game so we can do some national team races with Iceland? Well, we have this here. This is a tool made by David de Puit, I think. It's PCM Plus. You can, I will probably add a link in the description to get to this. What we will do here is use the different tools. So first of the tools that we're gonna use is the January 1 fixes. Important, we are now on the 1st of January and we can do some stuff here. Okay, as you can see here, we are gonna keep on enhanced progression of youngsters and regression of old cyclists. It's just more fun for the game if the youngsters, which is what we're gonna be focused on, develop a little bit faster. And then also dynamic country. What does this mean? At the end of each year, we're gonna update the team rankings, and this way we can try and get into the Worlds and the European Championships with Iceland. It's not in the game out of itself yet, but luckily this database tool will do that for us. So we're gonna execute that. And then one more thing what we're gonna do, and we're gonna only do it now. For the first year, we are gonna generate a son. My first name is Bram, so we will actually name our son the last name Bramson, as is done in Iceland, and we will have a random name, first name based on the country, but then of course we need to select Icelandic guy. Perfect. So we will generate that guy, and it will be a free agent with a random potential of at least 3.5. I don't want to make him too overpowered, so I hope he's at more or less at that level, but at least this will get us going from the second year on. There we go. Bramson is generated with a very bad stat. We'll see what he ends up with. Okay, we will only do that now. From next year on, this is what we have, this is what we have. This is the only thing I will use this system for. So, back to Pro Cycling Manager. The first thing what we want to do now is make sure that only one of our scouts is I fired the other one. We only need one because we are only interested in Iceland. That is done. They are scouting. We have 8 knowledge of the territory. Hopefully that will go up. We could in theory get a better scout, but I think it's fair to say at this moment a scout with knowledge of 3 is the only thing we can afford in Iceland. For the reports, we will use 2 filters. Age should be above 16. You can not sign them anyway otherwise. And the country is Iceland. There we go. search. Of course, there's nothing now here, but anytime we will get back, hopefully our staff will have found someone. We cannot sign the other cyclists anyway, so it is what it is. Facilities. So to do that, first we have to check, because recently that I did pick up, the way how the money system works changed a bit. So instead of having a monthly update of money, it will now happen in the beginning of every year. And with this projection, we can see to where we will go. It will be around 0. Well, let's say 150k we will have left over in the case we don't win any money. To improve that, we can look at our staff. I'm not really a huge fan of any doctors, so they have to leave as well. The riders can pay for their own doctor. And this is the most important one. Actually, Dries Devenants is international. That's nice and groundbreaking. I mean, we will focus on the youngsters anyway, so groundbreaking is very good for that. And then we have another trainer, Stig Christiansen. Probably we will only use him in the very first season, and then we will see if we continue with him. Let's look at our squad. As you can see here, actually quite a bit of potential. The only problem, these guys are freaking old. We're not going to be able to improve that or use them probably after this season. Although, to be fair, I'm not too disappointed with having 2.5 stars for our starting team. Our main guys, the Johnson brothers, I assume they're brothers. If not, I'm sorry. But let's say they are, in our case, are the best. Right now, they don't have any fitness yet, so this is a better way. The best sprinter is Kristin, and is sprinting of 63, which is, of course, very low. It's gonna be hard to win any other race than the Nationals this year. For the preseason, I always just put all of them on very high. In my experience, that is the way to start. Anyway, and let's check this here, the trainers. The calendar is now a good one. We have no races in the first part of the season. Some in the second one, limited amount in the third, and none in the fourth. What I'm just gonna do, since we're a Conti team, I'm just gonna fill the roster. So I'm just gonna say open to the team and then just try to apply for all of them. Yeah, this is a fairly nice schedule. So, objectives. First of all, remove all of them. I want to do my own objectives. And what we already can do is add the national championships. I mean, we are gonna win them anyway, but okay. Is the easiest way. Instead of going to look for them, just select all. It will throw up some errors, but it's the easiest way to include all of them. Of course, we cannot ride them with 9, but we'll figure it out in the planning. And then maybe for the other ones, we will first take a look at our sponsor objectives, because of course, to improve, we mainly want our sponsors to be happy. Okay, done. To the planner. I am gonna do auto planning assistant, except for the objectives. I will make sure they're good. Apart from that, the riders will be planned by my assistant. And that's it. What I am then gonna do is It's just some backroom management. Good. I hate all these mails. I don't get why we get all of them, but it is what it is. I think more or less everything is set up. Let's just start with our first race. Canyon is Icelandic? No way. But we're not Norwegian. Okay. Michelin is definitely not Icelandic. But sure. But sure. Oh yeah, good I guess. You know. We are on the 24th of January. I don't know why, but the date system is annoying the hell out of me. I hope I can change that. I doubt I can, but please, guys. Okay, so first of all, what happened? As you can see, we have no reports anymore on any Icelandic. If we turn that off, we have scouted some young riders, but unfortunately, no Icelandic riders. Okay, there we go. So there's no actually Icelandic riders scouted yet. Hopefully that will happen in the near future. The only way to get that amount up is to, well, win races. So that's what we're going to try to do with our first ever race of our team, which is the Tour of Sharia. This happens in the UAE. Let's do this, guys. We can get some seconds in the intermediate sprints. I'm gonna try to do that with Johnson, David, because the good thing about that is that he has a good flat rating, so he hopefully can get there and then can take some seconds to end up high in the results. Now this is gonna be a problem for our team, but we can try. And the others are gonna stay in the bunch. A lot of country teams here. Yeah, it's gonna be super hard to win anything with our ratings, but we're gonna try our best. Some nice results would be good. Some points, hopefully, at the end of each race. It might even be better to have more one-day races than long days, because if we win those with our sprinter, we get more points than a stage race over 5 days. Okay, let's pause it here. Okay, what we're gonna do, we have very good ratings for the day, so that's already a win. I'm gonna put them all here on. I mean, I always use 85 in case there's mountains, and maybe at the end we will go up. This is our sprinter, so let's protect him. Sprint is all super low. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to do. Doesn't really matter. They're all shit. Yeah, that Gudmundsson you can protect. Our sprinter with 46 sprinting. 64 sprinting. And we're gonna attack with Johnson. Oh shit, that was fast. And 1.3 to go. We lost too much energy with coming out of the bunch. If we had a good train, we would have made it, but this is gonna be tough. Let's just go. Yeah, that wasn't good. Was not good. Tough. Definitely. 17th. Jesus Christ. Horrible. Okay. Doesn't matter. Next one. Whatever we learn, we learn. Yeah, the first year or 2 or 3 will be tough to win anything. So anyway, I hope you liked looking at this and at least following the story of our Icelandic Vikings. I will leave it at this for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I really hoped you enjoyed this video. For the next time, I hope I can fix the technical difficulties we had with the game, and also I will try to update the channel's image and everything a bit. Hopefully, I know I can get some great help because my brother is an artist and he will do his best to actually get the channel up and running with me. And I don't know, if you liked what I did, definitely leave a like, definitely subscribe. I will also probably do another smaller video on how the scouting system works, so I hope you can look forward to that. Anyway, thank you very much, and see you next time.